This is the YUNZII B68, and it's proof that you don't have to break the bank to get a really high quality mechanical keyboard. Full disclosure, YUNZII did send me this keyboard as well as a mystery keycap set to take a look at in this video, but even if you were to spend between £80 and £100 or dollars on the B68, I'm sure you'd be incredibly happy with your purchase. That's because at a relatively budget price, you're going to get all of the core features you'd expect in a premium mechanical keyboard, as well as a really joyful design experience. The B68 comes in 3 separate colour options, but I think this beige version with the Rainbow Spectrum keycap set brings so much joy to my desk setup. Now, if I had to be super critical, I would say that I'm not a huge fan of the gradient on that spacebar, but of course these are hot swappable keycaps, so if you didn't like that, you could always swap it out at some point in the future. The rainbow design across those number keys though is of quite a nice pastel hue, and it just brings a nice pop. The keyboard itself may not be much wider than your laptop, but it feels very spacious to type on thanks to those cherry profile keycaps. There are adjustable feet which you can set at 2 heights, and with full south-facing RGBs you can customize it even further to your liking. On the rear of the keyboard you can switch between wired connection or 2.4 GHz and of course Bluetooth, so you'll be able to connect to both of those operating systems as well as Linux or Android. And it doesn't stop there, because there is also programmable software that will allow you to remap the keys if you like. The keyboard is compact, but it's going to come with a 5000 mAh battery that's going to keep it charged for a long time. And probably the only thing that really holds it back from being my daily driver for the foreseeable future is the fact that I really use a function row very often in my day-to-day work. And so if you do need a function row, looking at something larger than a 68% keyboard is probably going to be important. But for anyone who's just using this as a simple typing keyboard, you're going to get a lot of joy out of the B68. At the same time, the Cocoa Cream V2 switches that I went for on this keyboard are very light and fast to type on, and I would definitely feel comfortable using them in a gaming setting. These are linear switches and they have a very kind of subtle and unimposing audio profile, and I think that having a nice neutral sound profile like this is probably a good idea for someone who's picking up their first mechanical keyboard, because it can give you a nice sense of what you might like later on. The keyboard itself does accept either 3-pin or 5-pin switches, so there's plenty of flexibility, but let's go into a sound test so you can decide for yourself. Now, YUNZII did also send me this mystery box keycap set with the B68, which I was really excited to open. I will say that this cherry blossom keycap set isn't necessarily my style, but my wife absolutely loved it, and she took a selection of those keycaps and added them to her AL66 keyboard, also from YUNZII, and it brought a whole new dimension to that keyboard that she's really loved. The thing I probably appreciate the most about this keycap set is the south-facing cutouts, which mean that you have shine-through illumination to say things like return or escape. And honestly, I feel really confident recommending YUNZII to beginners, but also people who are a bit more experienced with keyboards. The B68 itself provides an incredibly comfortable and spacious typing experience for a 68% keyboard, and the playful design brings an element of joy to your desk setup that you might not get from some of the more minimalist style brands out there. Thanks to YUNZII for sending it over. There is a link in my description if you want to check it out, but if the AL66 has also piqued your interest, then why not take a look at this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.